Hey everybody, how you doing? Economic Ninja here. Today we're going to be talking about real estate value, transferring value for value. And we're talking about an economic collapse, a real estate crash, all of that kind of stuff. We've been talking about that for about a year and a half. And so I decided today to use one of these fancy dancy boards. They're very slick, very amazing. I'm really excited. I don't know, man, I might get used to this. And we're going to talk about value transfer during a real estate crash because a lot of people don't understand this, okay? So we're going to talk about a couple of different scenarios here. And so we're going to draw out two houses, okay? We're going to draw a house that most people are in the position right now, and that's this house. And we're going to call this line the equity line, okay? So we're going to call that equity. And let's say you've got about, let's actually give out some really good numbers, okay? Let's try ninja math. Here we go. We're going to say $500,000 house. All right, this is a $500,000 house. This is a $500,000 house. The difference is this one, the equity line is all filled up. This house is sweet. And yes, it looks like Papa Smurf's kingdom. For those of you that don't know Papa Smurf, it's okay. It's just a psychedelic show about a bunch of little, I don't even know what they were. They were Smurfs. They were blue. They had white hats. This house is about, let's say, well, for easy math, 30%. Oh gosh, this is gonna be fast math. I'm just making this stuff up as I go. So 30%, that should be what, about $150,000? 150K. Ooh-wee. That is fast ninja math. Hopefully that's right. All right, so here's the point. During a real estate crash, there's a couple different camps we're in. We are in Papa Smurf's house. Papa Smurf is crushing it because Papa Smurf, he's in charge of all the Smurfs. So he has the house that's all paid for. He owns it, which means he owns $500,000, okay? Now remember, this is all at the top of the real estate crash, okay? And then we have like, I don't remember, Dopey Smurf? I don't know. Guys, if you know some Smurf names, put them in the thing below, okay? Cool Smurf, Ninja Smurf. He's got 150K into it. He didn't buy as early as this gentleman or lady. And, you know, they paid their house off. They're smart. They're good with money. They own. And, you know, they probably bought this house at $250,000. And so the run up, they made $250,000 worth of profit, and they paid off their $250,000 loan. So they have $500,000 in value right there, right? Now, Ninja Smurf, you know, he's only got about 30% equity, but that's cool. You know, he put down 10%. He built up 20% because the house went up in value. Okay, so that's great. Okay. Now the whole dream is during a real estate crash is that you move up. All right, you go from this or this to this. That is correct. This is a mansion house. Ninja Smurf, if you notice by the hair, has bought himself the massivest, like the biggest cup of McDonald's coffee you've ever seen, and he has 4 garages. Yes, there is a Lamborghini. There is a 69 Camaro SS. I know this doesn't matter, but it does. We also have a Shelby Cobra. And then this is the mystery car I can't tell you about, okay? But it might have been from a movie. So those are all in there, tucked away, drinking coffee, just wow, ready to rock and roll, okay? So the point is you go, and I've seen this back in the 2008 crash. People, this person right here and this person, all of a sudden got scared, right? Because let's say the crash happened. I'm just going to use easy numbers because ninja math is tough, all right? I don't know if you know this. Ninja barely made it out of high school. All right, so let's say the market crashes by 50%. That's pretty big. You know, some places actually did crash by 50%. In the country, Las Vegas was one of the hardest hit. San Bernardino, there were some other places, but it was West Coast. But let's say we have a 50% correction. Now this house is worth $250,000. Now, in the scenario that I just gave you, these people that paid off their house originally paid $250,000 for the house, so they're good. They are just like, ding, doesn't matter, all right? But they're still afraid. And the reason why they're afraid is because at one time, they were worth $500,000. Now they're only worth $250,000, okay? Now over here, this ninja math, oh boy. Well, this one's worth $250,000 too, right? And with all things staying the same, let's do this. So he had $150,000 in equity, but now it's gone. It's wiped out. It's completely gone. So he's in a really rough spot because he's under. The house is actually worth less than the mortgage, okay? So he's pretty much stuck. He's got a couple options. We'll talk about that. So one of the options is he can rent. Rent this house out. Just rent this thing and move out. Move into a bigger house. Why? Because during hard times, rents tend to go up. Why? Because through the foreclosure process and the re-clearing of all the homes that are underwater, rents tend to go up because there's only so much housing, right? We're seeing that right now where there's only so much housing going on. So that's one scenario. He goes, hey, I'm underwater, but I'm still making my payments. I've got a solid job, so I can move out and move up. Here's the problem. A lot of people get scared. They're afraid, right? Both of these scenarios, people could be afraid and not wanting to jump into the big house because they said, wow, well, it's one thing to be in this small house and go from, $500,000 or $250,000 to $500,000 and then back down to $250,000, right? It's another thing to go and buy this big house because, if these drop to 250, this big house is probably sitting around $500,000, right? So 500K. Well, the problem is, at one point, this house was over $1 million, and that scares a lot of people. They go, whoa, wait a minute. If we just saw a 50% crash here, what about here? Well, my thing is that it's value for value, right? When 2008 happened, the $1 million homes actually fell at a greater percentage than smaller homes. Condominiums, converted apartments, things like that, they did not fall as great on as great of scale, higher percentage than, these fell higher than the smaller homes. These weathered it. Why? Because there's more people out there that can pay lower rents and lower prices for condos, converted apartments, townhouses, small homes, right? Single family built homes, than can buy big homes. There's less buyers for these. So of course these fall at a greater percentage. This is when you want to really take advantage of a real estate correction, right? You want to move from something like this into something like this. Well, this is what I tell people. Let's say these people didn't pay. This is what's going to happen a lot pretty soon because there's a lot of cash buyers out there. Don't ask me how, but there seem to be. Let's say they literally paid $500,000 for this house, cash, and they literally bought it the day before the crash happened. That's bad timing. They should probably not buy any lotto tickets. And let's say this house, the day this one was 500 grand, this one was at 1 million. And let's just say for the heck of it, right? For making everything totally fair and even, this house was exactly twice the size as this house, okay? So you have everything the same. $500,000, $1 million, 2,000 square feet, 4,000 square feet, but you got the big cup of coffee, all right? So now let's say the crash happens. Things happen, the dollar falls, interest rates spike, we've got 20% interest rates, so now this house is worth $500K, not $1 million. And now this one, instead of 500, is now worth 250. The facts are, truthfully, this is if everything was equal, but it's probably not going to be. In all reality, this house, if everything was equal during the price rise, this house, you'll probably be able to even knock them down to 400K. The reason why is because there's less people buying them. There's less people looking at them. There's less people with that much money, or even if they have the ability to go get a loan, wanting to speculate on an expensive home because all they can see is this home just lost, 60%? This one lost 50, all right? What I'm telling you is these are the times where you have to realize, sure, you put $250,000, you just lost $250,000 of your money. But you have to look at what you're gaining over here. Because during the next cycle up, how valuable is this? Is this just a house? Or perhaps this was a farm with crops. You can actually make money from those. What about you have, that's a weird looking cactus. I meant a tree that was producing fruit. What if you're able to raise animals like cows and chickens? I'm not even going to try and draw a cow or a chicken. Not that fast and not that good. Point being is this, what's the usability of the property? Is it a big piece of property? Were you able to split it off and build another house or put a rental on? Perhaps even the same size as the one you had. Now you have rental income. Point being is this, when the crash happens, the bigger, more expensive properties tend to take a bigger hit percentage-wise. Stop looking at what you've lost right here and look at how you can now take that capital, because you own the property cash, sell it, take out what it's worth now, and put it into something that's going to make you even more money during the next bull run. So guys, I hope you got something out of this. I really appreciate your time. And since this is awkward and I don't do any editing, I'm just going to slowly walk around and turn off the camera, but I'm going to keep talking. And I thank you guys for everything you do. Ninja Nation is going to be strong because Ninja Nation is going to be prepared. With that being said, guys, the Economic Ninja is out.